Hey guys, today we're going to be discussing Far Cry New Dawn. My main question I do want to answer today is Far Cry Dawn worth the cash? So, personally, I'm just going to say this. Personally, I do like the game. And so, before I start telling you why I like the game and some of the problems that the game has, I do want to give y'all warnings. You do not want any spoilers for Far Cry 5. Go finish the game, come back to me, and if you're back from that, congratulations. I hope you enjoyed a game that I personally did enjoy. Leave me down in the comments your favorite part of the game. Okay. Now that they're gone, I hope y'all are ready to discuss Far Cry 5. So, I did enjoy the game. And I feel like I was a little skeptical of the game because there were so many post-apocalyptic games coming out. Fallout 76 flopped. Metro Exodus I haven't got to play yet, unfortunately. I had to make some budget cuts on games. And it unfortunately came up to the chopping block and it got chose under Far Cry 5, Far Cry New Dawn. And so I haven't got to play it. Rage 2 I've heard a lot of good about. So I was a little skeptical because I've seen good and bad come out of this area. So, yes. When I heard, oh yay, another post-apocalyptic game. But then I bought the game and I played it. And I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised. Very surprised. Because I felt like there was something added. And I felt like I had gained something from playing that game. And the first thing I felt like I gained is I gained a different type of palette for landscapes in post-apocalyptic games. Now, two of my favorite post-apocalyptic games are Fallout New Vegas, and I would have to say Fallout 4. And I like them for, okay, of course they're both Fallout games, but Fallout games was my main introduction into the post-apocalyptic setting of a game. So, now, my main reason that I liked both these games was very different. I liked Fallout New Vegas because it was very in-depth with its decisions and things, and you could do things that really affected actions and stuff like that, and I felt like that was always a really neat thing to have. But I also felt like I loved Fallout 4 because, for one, it was my first Fallout game, so it's kind of nostalgic. For two, it had a really interesting color palette. It wasn't just gray or green. It was colorful. And that's why I love this game so much. Because it's colorful, but it's even more colorful than Fallout 4. It's not dreary, it's a super bloom is what they call it. Which all the people have left structures to rot and do, so it was able to be reclaimed by the land. Which I think is a really cool thing. So, I think that it definitely has an interesting color palette, and I believe like that's one of the main things that sets it apart for me as as one of the current Fallout, a type of a post-apocalyptic Fallout type games, is that. And so that's my main reason that I love it over some other games. Now, let's talk about some other things that I like for it. First off, I like how they added some crafting mechanics and stuff, because it makes sense. Instead of money, when you get trade-in furs, instead of getting money like you would have in older games, you get crafting materials, which makes sense. I mean, hey, if you give me those pelts that I can use to make clothes, I'll give you some gears or some duct tape that you could use to make something else. Well, yeah, that's fair. And that's very realistic to what would happen. So, I was a fan of that, personally. And also, I feel like them still making it useful to hunt and fish for more than just the ability to have food was definitely interesting. And so, I do like the bartering system because I feel like it makes a lot more sense. And I do like, also like crafting. Because used to you would make money, you would buy stuff. But I like crafting because it's not just you're looking for money to buy everything. It's you're looking for crafting materials. And you can build stuff on the go. I also like that. Like if I need throwing knives, I can take some copper and build some throwing knives. That's useful and that's flexible. And if I'm getting to base and I need some ammo, I don't have to go looking for ammo or go buy ammo. I can just make some ammo. And I feel like that's pretty cool for a post-apocalyptic setting. So, I definitely do like the crafting system. But now let's talk about one of the biggest things that I've seen a lot of people really iffy about with Fallout New Dawn. The weapon system. So, if you've heard something about light RPG mechanics, this is it. Pay attention. RPG games have leveling, and so usually you're not going to be able to be a level 1 scrub and fight the most powerful enemy in the game. You'll see this in games like Skyrim, Fallout, Dragon Age, even Dark Souls. They're all RPGs to where you're going to have to get higher level, become stronger, get better weapons before you can fight people. And so Far Cry has always been a series I've respected for its ability to keep weapons realistic. Like, most everybody could be taken out by a one-shot headshot. Now, there were some enemies that were kind of tankish, but most everything was taken out by a headshot. Sniper rifles would be taken out, take out people with headshots. That was just realistic weaponry. So there wasn't really, I got this weapon, now I'm overpowered. Every weapon was viable, which I could respect. So, definitely, I did respect that. But with this game, what they decided to do was they added a light RPG mechanics by making a leveling system on 2 things. And neither of these were the player. You do not have a level per se. You can get perks like you did in the old games, but in this game, you don't have a per se level. But what does have levels are your weapons and your enemies. So if you want to take down a tier 2 enemy, you're going to want a tier 2 or above weapon to do the most damage. And also with takedowns, you have to upgrade your takedown to be able to take down higher level enemies with a sneak attack, which I think is pretty entertaining. But I was skeptical of this personally. I'm not a big... always respected Far Cry games for their realism on weaponry, and so I was kind of like, my one game that I respected for that isn't doing it. But then what I did was I played it. Because I'm not going to judge a game without playing it. I actually took a little while to put this out, because personally I do not want to make a review of a game until I've played enough of the game that I can know the game. So, I played it, and I actually like it, because I found myself get to a point in Far Cry 5 where I had nothing to root for, I had nothing to go for, and I felt like that was a very sad point in time for me, because I didn't really have anything to grind for. I had really good weapons that I could get all the way through the game with. I mean, the only reason I was kind of there was just to get the story, and I don't know, the story in that game, it was okay, but I would honestly just preferred spending time around the NPCs. So I would do like a bunch of little tiny missions and go fight bases on my own for just the fun of it. And so, I'll be honest, it took me a while to finish the game just because I didn't feel the get up and go to do it, because I didn't have anything to grind for, which I can say I don't have to worry about in this game. I do enjoy that game having a little bit of a, hey, well, you want to go do something? Well, work on it. If you want to have a better base, then go grind some stuff, and then you'll have it. And I think that's pretty cool. I think it gives you something to grind for and gives you a interesting way of really immersing yourself in the game. So for one, I felt like it gave me something to play for. For two, I felt like it was just, honestly, it was just kind of fun. Because if you get like a really powerful weapon and you have like some really light level enemies, it's kind of fun to just tear them up. And I felt like that was a really cool mechanic. And so I'm not really opposed to it anymore. I mean, it's kind of annoying when you're running a stealth and you get an elite, but you know what? You take your time and you do better and you beat him. And you feel that sense of accomplishment for beating him. So I'm not against that, and I would say don't let that put you off hearing the word light RPG. Because it's still a fun Far Cry game where you get to do a bunch of crazy crap, but it does add some interesting stuff to it. Now, let's talk about why Far Cry games in general I think are a really fun game to get for you. Well, for anybody personally. You can do whatever you want. It's kind of like a Just Cause game, but a lot more realistic personally. Like, if I want to go grab a bike and then go hunt down an enemy and then throw a remote detonating charge on it and then light it, I can do it. If I want to sneak around an enemy base and be like a Metal Gear Solid game and snipe everybody and drag their body away so that I don't get spotted and then take the whole outpost without anybody seeing me, I got it. If I want to go like Mad Max and jump on a motorcycle and throw his passive explosive on the enemy oil tanker and light it as I drive away like a cool guy, I can do it, and it's just fun. It is addictively fun to do what you can do in these games. So if you're looking for it sounds really stupid, but if you're looking for a more realistic style of a game, kind of like Just Cause, then buy this game. I mean, it has those interesting, you can't just be like this one-man army and do all these crazy things, but you can still be a little bit of a crazy guy. And I really do like the stealth of this game also. Because yes, I can go, run around with a bazooka and take everything out. But I've always felt that this game had some of the better stealth mechanics. And I know that sounds weird, because there are games like, Metal Gear and all that have just really cool stealth mechanics. But I just felt like this game was really good with them. Like, the enemies are smart, but they're not too smart that it's super difficult, excuse me. They're a wise group, but they're not overly wise. They're not like psychic somehow and can just tell every time that you're doing something. But personally, I just felt like it was something pretty cool. I mean, hey, I felt like I could do good, but it was a challenge, but it was still a fun challenge. I mean, a lot of people enjoy stealth games, and I do too, but I just felt like it was a nice change on the stealth genre. So if you're looking for a fun game to stealth around and do, you can do it. And what I also like about this game, if I get messed up on my stealth, I can pull out an M60 machine gun, mow everything down, and start over on the next outpost, because by golly, this one's going down. But I will say, if you are looking for a game that has really good stealth mechanics, I would recommend this. Also, if you're looking for another one, I would recommend Metro Exodus, because they also have really good stealth mechanics, but that's for another video, for another day. So, I do really respect these games, and I do really like them. So me personally, if you are looking for a really fun game that is a kind of blend between do what you want and realism, I think it would be a very fun game for you to do. If you like a very lush, but still kind of that apocalyptic feel, I would recommend this game, because I feel like it has a really good style to it. So, if you're looking for something like that, I would really recommend these games, and I feel like they're something that a lot of people will enjoy. And if you have played this game, leave your thoughts down in the comment. Reach out to me here, reach out to me on Twitter. I really do like hearing y'all's thoughts and opinions, because y'all help me out. Y'all really do, more than y'all could understand. And so, guys, just thank you for coming out. Thank you for listening to my opinions. Thank you for everything you've done for this channel and for me personally. So guys, I hope y'all have a great day. Tell me if you bought Far Cry New Dawn. Tell me how you're liking it. And also, guys, I'm going to be doing a video on a game that I started that I'm really addicted to. But it's going to take me a little while. So excuse me if I have taken a little while from these videos. But I have other things like school and work to attend to that keep me able to do this channel, guys. So I hope y'all have a great day. Thank you for everything you've done for me. And good